Welcome back. The cadets were talking about graduating from the Nigeria Defense College in Kaduna. But before we continue with that story, let's remind you that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We'd also like to have you interact with the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, just tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions. The Nigerian Air Force has commenced training of officer cadets on counter-terrorism ahead of their graduation from the Nigeria Defense Academy, NDA, in Kaduna, northwest Nigeria, in September this year. The training is part of efforts by the federal government to expose the future officers to conventional ways of fighting the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeastern part of the country.
These are cadets from the air wing of the Nigerian Defense Academy. They're undergoing training on tactics and techniques of counter-terrorism, especially at this critical time of insecurity in the nation's polity.
If we have a crop of officer cadets who have already spent 4 years in the academy, then how can we say that they are not ready to be launched into battle? That is why, considering the security situation in our country now, we feel that there is every need for us to prepare our officers, which is the primary objective.
From the classroom to the field, the cadets practicalize what they've learned. Stop and search techniques at roadblocks and checkpoints, escort on VIPs, raid on enemy camps, rescue missions and identification, as well as awareness of improvised explosive devices, among others. Air Secretary expresses satisfaction with the level of performance. He charges the cadets to take the exercise very serious.
We have come to realize that it is no longer going to be an Air Force where you just come and you are stuck to your profession. The prevailing threat, the prevailing security situation with insurgency and internal security demands that every airman should be very conversant and versatile, even in land warfare.
Over the years, cadet officers from the Nigerian Defense Academy pay more attention on academic activities with little on physical training. The emergence of the Boko Haram insurgency in the country has necessitated the introduction of counter-terrorism and insurgency courses in the curriculum of the institution in order to expose the future officers to modern ways of handling the challenge.
Also concerning security, to win the war against insurgency and curb the frequent kidnappings in the southeast, priority shall be given to interagency collaboration, better intelligence gathering, as well as manpower training. A retired Brigadier General and military security expert, Joe Komolafe, shared these views while delivering a lecture on security challenges in Owerri, the Imo State capital. He advocated a comprehensive review and restructuring of the security sector to effectively deal with terrorism and all related activity.
Kidnappings and other related crimes are becoming rampant in many parts of southeast Nigeria. The challenge for the authorities is how to rein in the criminals and put a stop to the menace. That's why the Southeast region was a focus at the 34 Artillery Brigade's 2016 study period. Men of the 34 Artillery Brigade are gathered with heads of all sister security agencies in Imo State, Southeast Nigeria, and representatives of the state government. A collaboration they hope will ensure that lives and property of citizens are secured.
By the state to prevent, control insurgents at any level, as well as guarantee the territorial integrity of the state.
Kidnapping, armed robbery, pipeline vandalism and cultism are some of the most notable security challenges in Southeast Nigeria. But there are several ways to deal with the problem.
The communication system at the push of button, and as we are talking now, it's possible for anybody all over the world, everybody all over the world to see us and know what we are doing. But it was not like that before. So one of the challenges we have is in the areas of our equipment we are using, the type of training we have received before now. Then we are talking of our mode of intelligence gathering and dissemination.
The study period is to enhance a better working relationship amongst security operatives so they can get a broader perspective on security challenges and deal with the issues as they come.
Meanwhile, while Newpeng and Pangusin have begun their strike action across the Federation, the Joint Health Workers Union have shelved their planned strike action, which was initially meant to begin on Thursday. The president of the Joint Health Sector Union says the suspension of the proposed strike is to enable the workers mourn the late Minister of State for Labour. The late minister was the chairman of a negotiation committee set up by the Ministry of Labour to address the issues raised by the Health Workers Union in their notice of proposed strike addressed to the ministry.
This fallen honorable minister actually exhibited the highest level of commitment to even the hardest doubters in the fold of JOESU, that for the first time, for a long time, government has shown some level of, very reasonable level of seriousness in seeing the problems in the health sector resolved. 10th would have been the expiry of the shifted ultimatum. As a mark of respect for him and for the government, we have shifted that date for now indefinitely, but we'll get back to our members as soon as the mourning period is over and as soon as it is necessary for us to call back the attention of government to get back to the table. Also, we have asked our members all over the country to, from the 11th to the 17th, to put on black armbands to mourn this fallen hero.
Staying with the subject of strikes, an end to the industrial action by the Ogun State civil servants may not be in sight yet, as the labor leaders have threatened to stick to their guns unless the government fulfills its end of the bargain as far as their financial obligations to the union is concerned. While asking the workers to remain calm, the union leaders have, however, accused the government of intimidation.
This was the scenario that played out at the Ogun State Secretariat in the face-off between two members of the union. A few minutes later, some union members were whisked away by the police. Most offices were still under lock and key.
You are hereby advised to keep calm and stay at home until the strike is called off or suspended by labor leaders in the state. Once again, we enjoin the entire workforce to remain calm as the strike continues. and we enjoin you to shun and disregard threats and intimidation of the state government to embark on no work, no pay rule, aimed at dividing the rank and file of the labor in the state.
The Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Taiwo Adeolua, describes the industrial action as uncalled for, but appealed to the leadership of the union to bear with the government as it finds a solution to the problem.
We want them to come back to the table. We'll sit down. We will discuss and reach agreements. You see, it is a bit unfair for anybody to pretend as if they live on the moon at this time in today's Nigeria. Things are bad. The reality on the ground is that there's no money to service all these obligations at the same time. And if we have paid salary and they think we are owing deductions, let us sit down and talk about it, and then we'll look at how to defray as our finances improve.
For the second day running, government offices and businesses have remained paralyzed as workers request for immediate payment of their deducted allowances.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Coming up, the Niger Delta Development Commission have been encouraged by the Abia State Governor to work more closely with the states in their purview. Stay with us.